Hello, thank you for joining with me. We are reading Ken Wapnick's Journey Through the Text of A Course in Miracles. We are in Chapter 3, The Innocent Perception, and we are now starting the last section of this chapter in Ken Wapnick's book, Jesus. To conclude Chapter 3, we discuss a significant passage about Jesus where he speaks to us in the context of the symbol the world has made of him. Even more to the point, the symbol that Helen understood. I was a man who remembered spirit and its knowledge. As a man, I did not attempt to counteract error with knowledge, but to correct error from the bottom up. Jesus is telling us that he did not deny the level of the body, that his lessons to us 2,000 years ago, as well as in this course, are meant to be applied to our lives here. We believe we are in this world, which means we are at the bottom of the ladder that will take us home. We need a symbol of the atonement that comes to us in a form we can accept and understand. The essence of Jesus was not the man of flesh, but the principle of the atonement, the thought of perfect love within his and every mind. However, since we believe we are in the world, that thought takes form. The person we call Jesus is one of those forms, and he teaches that the atonement principle was manifest in him as when he said that he is in charge of the atonement, and in fact is the atonement, and there's references to where that was said. It is important to note that he is not the only form, and in time we shall all become like him, and there's further references. I demonstrated both the powerlessness of the body and the power of the mind. By uniting my will with that of my Creator, I naturally remembered spirit and its real purpose. I cannot unite your will with God's for you, but I can erase all misperceptions from your mind if you will bring it under my guidance. You may recall that Jesus said the same thing in chapter 2 of the text. He clearly wanted Helen and Bill to understand, and us as well, that he cannot save us in the spirit of vicarious salvation. All he can do is be the thought of atonement that is in our minds and which, by its very presence, continually calls to us. When we think we hear his voice, it is simply that we turn to him. He did not begin speaking, nor does he speak in words. He is a thought of love that is nonspecific, a reflection of the abstract love of God. When we choose him as our teacher, that love will come to us in the form we can accept and understand. If we are English speaking, for example, the chances are we will hear his voice in English. If we are lovers of blank verse, we might hear him in blank verse. If we are psychologists, we will perhaps hear him using psychological terms. Once again, Jesus is a perfect presence of the nonspecific love that is within us. That presence is the call, albeit not an active one. Like a lighthouse, it simply shines its light. One of the reasons we chose the lighthouse for the name of the Foundation's newsletter. That's the Foundation of Inner Peace. It does not do anything specific. When ship captains choose to come to the light, they do. The light does not seek after them. It simply shines into the darkness of the sea, as the light of atonement shines into the darkness of our minds. Thus, I cannot unite your will with God's for you because we made an active choice and are still choosing to turn from Jesus and God's will. Yet, if we bring the darkness to His light, the ego thought system to His atonement, the fact of our doing so cancels out the ego's darkness. The darkness cannot but disappear in the presence of light, just as we cannot have illusions in the presence of truth, nor judgment in the presence of love. Our task is only to bring our egos to Jesus. He does not undo our misperceptions by standing in the mind with an eraser. His love erases illusions simply through our bringing them to it. Its shining them away is the process of attaining Christ's vision. Vision is not specific, but it reflects the undoing of the ego's specific misperceptions. When we bring our judgments to Jesus' truth and love with which we have now identified, the judgments cannot stand. This means that when we look at another, judgment will be gone. Our physical eyes will not see differently, but our inner eye will see quite differently because it has been declouded. The clouds of guilt and judgment that caused us to misperceive are dispelled, leaving only the loving vision A Course in Miracles refers to as true perception. And I will stop there and we will finish up chapter 3 tomorrow. I appreciate you. I hope that you have a beautiful day and I will see you then. Thank you so much. I love you. Bye-bye.